Tonight, a powerful show of unity. All 5 MPP flag bearer aspirants vowed to ditch the mudslinging and divisive politics, pledging to accept the January 31 election outcome, heeding the warning of former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to safeguard the future of the MPP.
Let me be clear. The MPP is bigger than any individual. No ambition, grievance, or faction is greater than the elephant. Leadership protests must never weaken the collective core. Unity is not optional.
That anybody else emerges a winner, absolutely, I will support the person.
What are your numbers looking like as you...
Meanwhile, the police are putting their foot down. IGP Christian Tetayonu has issued a stern warning. No private security deployment will be allowed for the MPP presidential primaries.
We are cautioning that the police are more macho than the macho men you deploy. And that when it comes to a stage, that these macho men will not take advice from the caution that is given them. And they come to the police station and then we arrest them. I'm pleading. Nobody should call me.
We have a 360 coverage of all that unfolded at Alisa Hotel today here on Top Story, plus get reactions and expert analysis in the next 30 minutes, all brought to you by Telecell Connecting Energies, Holy Insecticide Spray and Coil, Enjoy Holy Sleep, and by Shield Pension Trust, into the future with you. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace. Well, tonight, all 5 flag bearer aspirants of the new patriotic party, Kennedy Ejapon, Dr. Brian Achampon, Dr. Mahamudu Baumia, Dr. Oseyao Educhum, and Engineer Kwabena Ejapon have committed to stop campaign of insults, accusations, and division with 9 days to the January 31 election. This was the undertaking signed today in a peace pact, committing to peace and unity before, during, and after the elections. This comes after days of concern of fairness of the electoral process and an equal playing field for all. First, let's listen to Chairman of the Election Committee, Joseph Osei Owusu, spell out the terms of the document.
These are the terms of the peace pact. One acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the process has been conducted in accordance with the principles of transparency, fairness, participatory or inclusive manner, with all the presidential candidates aspirants afforded full and equal opportunity to participate at every stage. We hereby formally acknowledge and expressly affirm satisfaction that we actively participated at every level of the process. 2. Acceptance of presidential election results. We commit to accepting the results of the 3rd January 2026 presidential primaries for the party, and we will respect the outcome irrespective of the results. We further reiterate and pledge to accept the outcome as a valid, authentic, and binding expression of the will of the delegates and the collective decision of the party. 3. Promotion of peace and cohesion. We pledge to work together to maintain peace and cohesion within the party before, during, and after the primaries. We will refrain from engaging in any actions or rhetoric that may disrupt party unity. 4. Commitment. We pledge to remain committed and loyal to the new patriotic party regardless of the outcome of the presidential election. We shall remain active, committed, and dedicated members of the party at all times and work hard to recapture power in 2028. 5. Support for the winner. We commit to diligently and conscientiously work to support the winner of the party's presidential primaries, both during the 2028 elections and in securing a sweeping or working majority in the next parliament of the Republic of Ghana. The support will be aimed at achieving the overall success of the new patriotic party. Enforcement mechanisms. Any disputes or violations of this MOU will be subject to resolution within the party's established internal dispute resolution mechanisms in accordance with the party's constitution. This MOU shall be in effect from the date of signing until after the 2028 general election.
Well, my colleague James Aveji has been all over this today, and he joins me in studio for more on this particular one. Now, James, first of all, apart from the 5 candidates or aspirants and the party executives, we also know that the former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was there. Who else attended this event, and what was the mood of the event?
This event drew the rank and file of the party. For instance, the chairman of the Council of Elders, Mr. Hackman Usuajiman, was there. The former Chief of Staff for President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Frima Osei Opare, who is also chair for the party's Patriot, was also there. If you go to Parliament, both the minority leader and his deputy, Alexander Penyumakin, and Honorable Patricia PAJ, led the minority members of the minority caucus to also represent in this particular meeting. The National Peace Council was also there, led by Reverend Dogbe, as well as a spokesperson for the National Chief Imam, were also there, together with the head of the Election Security Task Force, who is the Inspector General of Police, together with his police management board, POMAC members, were also the former party executive. I saw John Boyd, who had a chat with him, as well as other former MPs. Oseche Mensah Bonsu himself was also there.
And I saw former defense minister, Dr. Kwame Addo-Kufuor
was also there, together with the former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Aaron Michael Quay. We know that he chaired that committee that went into the fact-finding mission into why the NPP lost the 2024 election. So all the top shots you can think of as far as the party structure is concerned. Of course, the current party executives were also there. Justin Kojo, together with his other executives, were also there. So it was an assembly of all the big shots you can think of from the NPP.
And what was the mood like in the room? I mean,
it was what many would describe as a solemn, as well as a beautiful display of friendship between especially the 5 candidates that are going into that election. After they took their seats on the table, you see every now and then one person, whispering something to the ears of the other, and the other person also doing to the next. And so it wasn't a very stern look on their face. They were all smiley, all jovial with each other, especially, in fact, when they finished signing this pact and they were asked to mount the podium, hold hands, and take pictures with the other invited guests. You could see the smile on their faces. Just want to believe that this will be what it will be, even before, even during and after the election and the results have come out.
You want to believe this is not a charade anyway. Now, let's zoom in now to the specific messages on the day, starting with that of the General Secretary of the party, Justin Frimpong Kojo.
Justin Frimpong Kojo. So the theme for today was basically peace and unity of the NPP during this election and even beyond. Justin Frimpong Kojo, in re-emphasizing that, also assured of the party structure's unwavering full support to all of the candidates equally, especially as they were raising concern over possible favoritism of one candidate or the other.
What every aspirant expects is to see a free, fair, and transparent elections. And indeed, by conduct, at least by the Presidential Elections Committee, we can all attest to it that even in the compilation of the album, which is supposed to be the work of the Presidential Elections Committee, in order to ensure transparency and fairness, our aspirants have been involved from day one in compiling the album for the election, which is to guarantee free and fair election come July 31st. What is important for us as a party is to make sure that aspirants, voters, and even those who have a role to play on July 31st will be able to do their work in a free, fair, and secure manner. And we are sure the IGP and his men would guarantee us total peace and security in all our voting centers. I cannot take my seat by also making this important comment to our aspirants. Please, all of you should understand that none of you alone, even when you win, can secure a victory in 2020. And therefore, you will need the support of your brothers to be able to win the elections in 2028. And therefore, let us not see that this is just a fair contest. This is a contest of just how to show that have the support in the party. Whether you have the support or not, when you win July 31st, you will still need our brothers to carry on for us to win the elections in 2028.
So that's the General Secretary of the party. Now, the minority leader, Alexander Feomarking, for example, you said he was there together with some of his members from the minority. Now, he bemoaned the consequences of the seeming division in the party. We know that he's been speaking specifically about Prof. Frimpong Boateng earlier in the day in another interview. But tell us more about what he was saying at this particular pact.
So, Brace, he made a profound statement about how, in his words, lonely and painful it is when you are in opposition, and how you tend to lose friends, and how the NPP at this time does not want to experience what they are experiencing even beyond 2028, calling on all of the candidates to work towards, even beyond this election, to grant the party victory in the 2028 general election.
It's painful and lonely. We know this. Good friends don't pick up. Let me start off by saying that opposition is painful and lonely. We know this. Good friends don't pick up calls. They ignore us and they find new friends. We are living it. We feel it every day. And surely, none of us wants to remain there. We want power to serve, to transform lives, and to move Ghana forward. But power does not come through division. Power comes through discipline. Power comes through unity. Power comes through sacrifice. Let us therefore rise above anger. Let us rise above insults. Let us rise above short-term emotions for long-term victory. Let us protect the party that has given us voice, purpose, and hope. And when the contest is over, let us close ranks, lock arms, and march forward together, stronger, wiser, and united towards victory 2028. Our future depends on it. Our party depends on it. And Ghana is counting on us. Acting Chair, colleagues here gathered. Political competition is a necessary and healthy feature of every democracy. When leaders speak with restraint, supporters listen with restraint. I humbly therefore, on behalf of the mighty 87 in Parliament, urge all aspirants to conduct their campaigns with civility, respect for internal regulations, and unwavering commitment to peaceful engagements.
It looks like everything today has been about peace, and this was witnessed by the former president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. What was his message to the candidates as well?
His message was simple: no individual interest must precede the collective interest of the NPP, warning that this election must not divide the party any further, but must end up uniting and healing the party.
The supporters, the grassroots, and the youth of this party are watching you. History will judge not only who wins, but also how all of you conduct yourselves. Let me be clear. The NPP is bigger than any individual. No ambition, grievance, or faction is greater than the elephant. Leadership contests must never weaken the collective cause. Unity is not optional. Unity is not a slogan. Unity is a strategic necessity for victory. So I charge all of you, this peace pact must not only be signed, it must be lived. Over the remaining days, let your campaigns be firm but fair, competitive but respectful. Ours is a tradition that rejects fear, insults, intimidation, and bitterness. Loyalty to individuals must never supersede loyalty to the party. After the primary, there must be one party, one direction, one destiny. Let me end with confidence on a positive note. I have no doubt that the New Patriotic Party remains the best vehicle with the best ideas for Ghana's future. Our duty is to keep that vehicle united, disciplined, and worthy of the trust of the Ghanaian people.
But the matter of importance after all of this, James, is security on the day of election. You said earlier that the IGP and his police management were there. How ready did they portray they are ahead of January 31?
In fact, in the words of the IGP, even if the election were tomorrow, his men across the country are ready. He mentioned that they are deploying between 70 to 150 personnel to every single polling station across the country. The only special case is Boku, where instead of the police taking front stage in the election in providing security, the military instead have been asked to take front stage in providing security in Boku. The warning to all of the candidates and the party executives is that the police are capable of providing security, and so no one should deploy any special security or private security on the day of the election.
We have heard a lot, social media and others. And sometimes some of the leaders of the party have forwarded some voices to me to let me know that some group of individuals are planning to deploy macho men. Please, we are cautioning that the police are more macho than the macho men you deploy. And that when it comes to a stage, that these macho men will not take advice from the caution that is given them, and they come to the police station and then we arrest them. I'm pleading, nobody should call me. The word is that police is ready. And so we are giving you all the assurance that we will do our work peacefully, and then we will contribute heavily to make sure that at the end of the day, the one you want to be the presidential candidate who you want to let the person stand for the NPP party will come out victoriously under a peaceful security arrangement.
So that is the IGP. Well, let's go on the phone lines now for reactions from the various camps. But first, this is what Dr. Brian Champon said after the signing. Listen.
Once we've been on this, I think largely it's been very, very civil. In the last 1.5 weeks, I don't think anything is going to pop out of anybody's mouth that will create any problem for ourselves and for the party. Largely, I expect it to remain so.
Whoever wins will get your support.
I'm going to win, and I pray that I get their support. But in a very unlikely event that anybody else emerges a winner, absolutely, I will support the person.
What are your numbers looking like as you speak?
Come to the office.
Well, this is Top Story brought to you always by Telecel, Holy Insecticide Spray and Coil, and also by Short Pension Trust. Let's bring in the various spokespersons for the various aspirants and take their reactions to this peace pact that has been signed today. Let me start with you, Kwesi Kwating. He is a spokesperson for Kennedy Ejapon. Kwesi, we've been speaking to you often in this particular, campaign. With what has happened today, does it bring closure to the sort of rumors we hear that there is some deep-seated division in the MPP? Hello, Kwesi Kwating.
Oh, okay, I'm here. I didn't know I was the one you were speaking to.
You
I
were
thought
the
we were
one.
many on the line. Sorry.
You were the one, Kwesi.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Did you hear my question?
Can you come again?
So I want to pick your thought on what happened today, your reaction to this peace pact.
I mean, to be very honest, it's a step in the right direction. It's symbolic. It shows that at the end of the day, the party is poised for unity. And we have always maintained that without unity, no matter who emerges as a winner, there is no way we can rescue power from the NDC. And so, most important is that it's a symbol of unity. We, as Team Kennedy, we are very committed to ensuring that at the end of the process, we will come together as one party. And I've always maintained that Kennedy Japan, as a person and as a campaign, has that track record, always reconciling the party and making sure that indeed we build unity and move forward. If you recall, during the 2023 primaries when he lost, he came to join his junior brother, Dr. Baumia, and they tore the whole country together. So yes, I think it's a step in the right direction, if you ask me.
But we've seen a video circulating of your boss, Kennedy Japan. In that video, he seemed to be raising some concerns before he pens his signature to the document. What actually was his concern?
Yeah, I think first of all, we should commend him for being meticulous because an important provision was omitted from the act or the document which was given to Honorable Ken Ohene Japan. Recall initially the expectation was that they would have had thorough knowledge of the content of the document before they signed. But Ken happens to see the document for the first time. And so Ken paused and drew the attention of the said omission. And the omission borders on the fact that the Electoral Commission must annul the results of some of the voting centers. The voting centers that refused to do open space counting of the ballots. And so initially this had been agreed between the parties and the Electoral Commission and of course the Presidential Election Committee, which had been agreed that it was going to be part of the terms of the pact today. Unfortunately, it was omitted. But I must also commend the Electoral Commission and the chairman of the Presidential Election Committee, which subsequently apologized and gave an assurance that the correction will be made.
Okay.
So Ken was just being meticulous.
All right, I'm grateful to you. Let me bring in Yao Pokumensa. He speaks for Dr. Yao Osei Aduchum. So Pokumensa, you also witnessed this event today. What's the reaction of your side to what happened today at Alisa?
Yeah, let me say good evening to yourself and to Kwesi Kwachin and to our lovely listeners. Yes, it was an event in the right direction. Looking at what has transpired over the few months, especially heading to the final lap.
Your call has been put on hold. Process. Please wait. Your call has been put on hold. Please wait.
I'm listening. Yao. Hello, Yao, I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay. I specifically would have wished that we couldn't even have gotten here. But it tells or gives every indication that the party is worried. Every member of the party is worried, and therefore needed this colorful event to give a firm assurance to the party people and to the general public that the NPP is noted for a competitive process in electing its leaders. But the heat in this electoral process has gotten to a height that every member of the party looks worried. But today gives a firm assurance that indeed we are gentlemen, and the party called the NPP, which is noted for its competitiveness, still can uphold the tenets of what the four bearers used in establishing the process and has gotten us two presidents out of that. But I would have wished we never got there. But once we've gotten here, Dr. Osei Aduchum has always been committed to a unified party base. You look at his conduct in this whole process, and even today, his conduct in ensuring that he energized his brothers, the other four, for them to have the feeling that this is just a contest, and at the end of the day, anybody can emerge as a winner, and therefore it require all of our support, just as the General Secretary retreated. So my wish is that we all still commit to the process, and at the end of the day, the NPP will be the eventual winner. But I would have wished we never got here.
Yeah, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. Yao Pokumensa, a spokesperson to Dr. Yao Osei Educhum. Let me bring in William Alexander Coleman. He's executive aide to Engineer Kwabena Japan. William, I mean, isn't this, a surface dressing of the main issues within the MPP? Does this really tell your followers and every member of the party that indeed all 5 aspirants are united for one cause, a better MPP?
Well, at this point, we can only hope. We can only hope so, because back in 2023 or 2024, I think a similar event was held, but still, people left the party, and there was still some rancor, still some acrimony amongst the previous contestants. But we hope that this time around, we've learned our lessons from 2024, and whoever emerges victorious will be able to pull everybody together so that we can contest the 2028 election on a clean slate.
Well, what else do you think the party can do to ensure that you remain united, as you say, even after the primaries?
Well, the party should do the right thing and elect K as the flag bearer. If
he's not elected, there won't be peace.
Oh no, there can be, but it depends on the will of all the other aspirants. I can assure you that my candidate KAA will definitely rally behind whoever emerges victorious. There's been a lot of bad blood between some of the aspirants and their followers, but with KAA, he's had a clean campaign. He hasn't talked about anyone personally. He just goes, states facts, and he has been commended by neutrals and even people who are known to be followers of some of the other aspirants. So when it comes to the question of unity, he is somebody who has lived it, and he is somebody who would definitely embody it again, whether or not he is elected as the flag bearer of the party.
Okay. William, I'm grateful to you. Let me bring in Dennis Miracles Abuaje. He is communications director for the Baumia campaign. I'm grateful to you, Dennis, for joining. Now, do we have the assurance from all of you now that that after today there won't be that acrimonious campaign that you've been engaging in? Does your party have that assurance from you?
Well, I don't think you have any record of even a single acrimonious campaign from Dr. Mahmoud Bamia. I doubt if you even heard Dr. Mahmoud Bamia utter a single word that goes to attack an individual. I
haven't heard him, but I'm asking exactly. That from what happened today, do you assure your party members that there's that assurance that there won't be that rancor that we've seen, not from him, not from leaders, but I mean from followers of the various candidates that we've seen?
I mean, it is in Dr. Mahmoud Bamia's interest that we finish this contest a united party. Not really the fact that he's going to win. He has a record of going through this process and working to bring everybody on board. He has also demonstrated true leadership, that he's able to run a very clean campaign. I mean, you know how much attacks he has come under. Basically a punching bag for all the other candidates. And for the other candidates, you agree with me, it's not just followers. Barely 3 days ago, you realize how Honorable Kennedy Japan, on the back of a complete lie and fabrication, ran attacks on Dr. Mahmoud Bamia's persona. But you haven't heard him react in equal measure. So it tells you that he is ready to sacrifice all he can, and in the face of extreme provocation, restrain himself to ensure that our party remains together, which is the most important thing. Today's ceremony is one that has always been part of our processes. And so it's our belief that all aspirants would live up to the dictates of the pacts. I mean, the aspirants received the pact on Sunday and to review. So every aspirant, even today, already had an opportunity to see the pact, to know what is in there.
It is not that the aspirants saw the pact today.
No, that's not correct. The Presidential Elections Committee could not have done that. What they did was that on Sunday, they circulated the pact to all aspirants for them to even review. Indeed, aspirants even had a cause to make inputs at some point and make recommendations. So it's not correct that aspirants were given the pact only today. That the Presidential Elections Committee would not do that. Okay. They know better.
Dennis, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. Dr. Kwame Asante, a senior lecturer, Political Science Department, University of Ghana. Doc, I'm sure you followed what happened today. What's your own reading of this? Does this really give that assurance to the MPP that there will be peace from today and that the party can unite after the primaries?
Thank you for the opportunity. I believe that it is part of their duty to make sure that they go through the election.
I'm sorry, Doc. Are you okay now?
Very, very much okay.
Okay.
It is incumbent upon them to make sure that they go through the election peacefully. Because now there are a lot of problems within the party. And more so when you are in opposition, you have a difficulty in this regard. So this should not compound the problems for them. So they have to sign a pact and make sure that at the end of the day, the election will be peaceful and that those who lose the election will accept defeat and abide by the rules of the game and congratulate the winner. Then beyond this, you pledge your support and you should be seen to be supporting the one who has won power. But they are going to be hit by a snare in the sense that if you look at their campaign in recent times, it has been nothing but toxic campaign where they have accused themselves unnecessarily. So now the question is, if any of such persons who have been vilified at the end of the day becomes victorious in the election, those people who have attacked him and exposed his weaknesses to the opposition, would they muster courage to campaign for him? Even if they are part of the campaign, can they reverse the things they've said against that individual? It's going to be a daunting task for them. But they are in their business, so they know how to handle it.
All right, Doc, I'm grateful to you for joining us. Dr. Kwame Asante, a senior lecturer, Political Science Department, University of Ghana. It's now time for us to bring you Newsnight.
Coming up on Newsnight, Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies take a stand not to suspend the price floor policy, even as it makes efforts to persuade the self-suspended Star Oil to return amid growing concerns of its impact on the downstream sector.
That the floor price should be maintained. We are not backing down on it. Star Oil is not an ordinary member of the chamber. Indeed, Star Oil is the vice chair of the chamber. Naturally, we wouldn't want to lose such a member, so we have started the engagement.
We'll hear for the chamber and analysts. Also, Ghana's poverty landscape is shifting, with the Ashanti and northern regions now accounting for the largest numbers of people living in multidimensional poverty, despite a national push that lifted nearly 1 million Ghanaians out of poverty. Details as the Northeast Regional Minister says government is deploying all its resources to bridge the poverty divide in the region. In business,
bringing you more analysis and industry response on the latest action by the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies.
And in sports,
GOC targets not less than $300,000 for athletes' preparation for the 2026 Commonwealth Games.
Details of that coming up shortly. Also tonight, after years of neglect, commuters and residents along the Pokwasi-Mayura Road in the Ganwest municipality are calling on government to fix their terrible roads.
Looking at the nature of this road, I mean, at times I look at it when I'm coming to drive from Pokwasi to this road. I just like, am I in a casket or what?
More in today's episode of our feature series, Roads of Peril. And later, national security officials in Tamale in the northern region are standing firm on their decision to make 13 women arrested for alleged commercial sex work sweep the central market.
The exercise was not a punishment, it was a community-based correctional measure.
Tonight we ask, is forcing the women to sweep the market a proportionate response to the alleged offence, and does it cross a line into extrajudicial punishment? These and more coming up tonight on Newsnight. My name is Ofori. You can join us with your comments via our WhatsApp line 055 1111 997. Stay with us.
There are many reasons to connect, and it's all to put smiles on the faces of those you love.
Daddy, thanks for the tea cash, okay? I love you.
That's my daughter, Angela.
Meba Kojo, I sure why. Tea cash naba. No papa ina dawasi.
Caring for my parents, that's my duty. I also get to pay my utility bills easily with Telecel Cash. And to the suppliers at my shop.
Hello, sir. Telecel Cash payment received right on time. Thank you.
I get to make them smile because I can pay to my suppliers' merchant numbers, even on other networks directly. My dear ones.
We keep the connection stronger when our family, friends, and business relations are happy. Live on cash, enjoy convenience, and make those who matter smile when you send them money with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Son, we are so proud of you for setting up this hospital. I really love those hospital beds and waiting chairs. By the way, did you import them?
No, Dad, I didn't. I actually got them from Kindle Books and Stationery right here in Ghana.
Wow. We also bought our office supplies, safes, executive desks, and chairs from Kingdom, and they gave us expert advice on how to set up our office.
Guys, that makes 3 of us. I also got our sofa and bedroom sets, plus our dining hall furniture for our new home from Kingdom.
Wow, Mom, that makes 4 of us. I usually get my stationery items from Kingdom, and my teacher also mentioned that our classroom furniture was provided by Kingdom.
So there you have it. Whenever you're thinking about setting up an office or acquiring furniture for your home, etc., Kingdom Books and Stationery should be your first port of call. With over 40 years experience in the industry, we stock and supply a wide variety of globally sourced office and home furniture, stationery, and equipment. Visit our head office, Takweje, Osu near the Osu Cemetery, Tema near Community 4, Takoradi opposite Vijay Mays Plaza, Cape Coast University Bookshop, Spintex Road near Absa Bank, Atomic Center Point Mall, Winneba University Campus, KNUST, the University Bookshop, and Santasi in Kumasi. You can also visit our shop online, www.kingdomstoreonline.com. Hurry while stock lasts. For further inquiries, contact us on 050-162-0810 or 0302-764-101. Email info@kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, where quality and affordability is assured. Terms and conditions apply.
At Star Oil, we believe fuel is not just a commodity, it is a lifeline. Every cedi saved at the pump is a cedi that helps a mother send her child to school. A farmer transports food to the market, or a young entrepreneur deliver their first order. Our mission is to make fuel more accessible by offering consistently competitive prices, helping ease the financial burden on Ghanaian households. In a country where transportation costs can consume nearly a third of household income, this is not just business. It's a social responsibility. Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuels for all.
No matter where we are, Africa always calls us home. And here in Ghana, the call is clear: to power growth and create lasting impact. At Stanbic Corporate and Investment Banking, we are creating giants and connecting businesses. From financing bold energy projects to enabling cleaner, reliable power for industries, we are fueling Ghana's transformation. With our support, Gensa Energy is delivering sustainable energy that powers Goldfields operations, helping them move closer to cleaner, greener mining. This is a story of how we bring businesses together, create jobs, empower communities, and invest in the next generation. Stanbic Bank, delivering sustainable growth, creating impact. To learn more, visit stanbicbank.com.gh.
For many years, we've been solving Ghana's water storage problems with quality tanks. Syntex tank. You know, it is strong, it's tough and reliable. And now we're in to solve the #1 problem when it comes to water carriage: our pipes. With the state-of-the-art machinery, Syntex is providing very strong, tough, reliable, high quality and durable pipes at a reasonable price. This is Syntex Pipes. With Syntex Pipes, water flows wow. I mean, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. If they carry water, no wahala. With Syntex Pipe, our water problems are solved. Syntex, are you strong? Are you tough?
You're welcome back to Newsnight, and we are starting with the new patriotic party's Peace Pact signing, where all 5 aspirants have committed to stop a campaign of insults, accusations and division. With 9 days to the January 31 election, the National Executive Council of the party has been meeting after the Peace Pact signing. We'll get details of what transpired in that meeting shortly, but first, listen to the chairman of the election committee, Joseph Osewusu, at the Peace Pact signing event earlier today.
These are the terms of the Peace Pact. One acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the process has been conducted in accordance with the principles of transparency, fairness, participatory or inclusive manner, with all the presidential candidates aspirants afforded full and equal opportunity to participate at every stage. We hereby formally acknowledge and expressly affirm satisfaction that we actively participated at every level of the process. 2. Acceptance of presidential election results. We commit to accepting the results of the 23rd January 2026 presidential primaries for the party, and we will respect the outcome irrespective of the results. We further reiterate and pledge to accept the outcome as a valid, authentic and binding expression of the will of the delegates and the collective decision of the party. 3. Promotion of peace and cohesion. We pledge to work together to maintain peace and cohesion within the party before, during and after the primaries. We will refrain from engaging in any actions or rhetoric that may disrupt party unity. 4. Commitment. We pledge to remain committed and loyal to the new patriotic party regardless of the outcome of the presidential election. We shall remain active, committed and dedicated members of the party at all times and work hard to recapture power in 2028. 5. Support for the winner. We commit to diligently and conscientiously work to support the winner of the party's presidential primaries, both during the 2028 elections and in securing a sweeping or working majority in the next parliament of the Republic of Ghana. The support will be aimed at achieving the overall success of the new patriotic party. Enforcement mechanisms. Any disputes or violations of this MOU will be subject to resolution within the party's established internal dispute resolution mechanisms in accordance with the party's constitution. This MOU shall be in effect from the date of signing until after the 2028 general election.
And you hear that the chairman of the NPP's election committee, Joseph Osewusu. Let's go on the phone lines and speak to the party's deputy general secretary, Haruna Mohammed. Good evening and thank you for your time here on Newsnight.
Good evening.
We know that the party's NEC meeting has also ended. First of all, what was the focus of this meeting? Anything different from what we saw today?
Thank you very much. I'd like to say good evening to your charity website and listeners as well. The NEC meeting looked at the Presidential Election Committee briefing on the processes and agreements with the presidential aspirants and the various guidelines that were issued and all the activities that have happened, including the intra-party activity, engagement with respect to the album, validation, printing of ballots, the security, the electoral commission, and all the various stakeholders involved in the conduct of the elections. So we took stock, we listened to them, we asked other critical questions related to matters that would contribute to the peaceful nature of the elections. Then you know very well that we had this by-election that is impending, which is the Iowa East, right?
Yes.
And NEC had the constitutional power to look at it, and then we deliberated on the matter and then instituted certain measures as to how we are going to go into the elections and
Haruna, how does the party plan to enforce the terms of the Peace Pact that was signed by the various aspirants today?
I think the Peace Pact is very straightforward. All of them took time to read through the Peace Pact, and we, as a New Patriotic Party, the party that has always demonstrated our democratic credentials, and we tout ourselves so much that we are the beacon of democracy, and that is something that is resonating very well with us as a political party. These have been instituted by us, and in the first 2023, you saw that it was very successful. All of us gathered at the Baba Yara, and we gathered at Ohinijan Sports Stadium, and then we adored the winner for the election on the same day. And this time around again, we are going to have the elections and the Peace Pact to have come into being, and all of them are accepted, and the terms and conditions of the Peace Pact. We know that these are very strong members of our party, very respected members of our party, who are very senior members of the party. They know the do's and don'ts of the party, and I think that they will be able to abide by the rules and regulations and also ensure that there is peace after the election. What everybody has to know is that there is going to be a party to manage after the primary, not an individual, and that is something that all of them are aware, and then they are working towards to ensure that we have a peaceful election and there is peace after the election.
Haruna Mohammed, we know that the aspirants have signed this Peace Pact today, but then how do you ensure that their supporters actually follow the path of peace?
Can you come again?
I know that I was just asking. The aspirants, of course, have signed the Peace Pact today, but how do we ensure, the party, your side, how will you ensure that the supporters of the individual aspirants also follow the path of peace?
Yes, the supporters are some parties that are very dangerous to some of these particular things because controllability by the aspirants. They are not able to even identify some of the people who support them, or some other people will do it in the name of certain candidates who they have not elected them to do certain things on their behalf. It's a very difficult terrain, but the party is taking measures to deal with that. The presidential aspirants are reminded of this particular point of dealing with their supporters or their support base, so that at least they will be able to control them in some of these particular decisions, and also in their utterances, and then their actions and inactions during the elections and after the elections. So this is something that is very critical, very difficult situation, but I think that we'll be able to mitigate some aspects of this particular happening going forward as a party and also as an electing body in terms of the presidential election committee.
Haruna Mohammed, thank you so much. He's the Deputy General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. Away from politics, the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC, has firmly refused to suspend the petroleum price floor policy, even as it makes urgent efforts to persuade Star Oil to return to the association amid growing concerns about the impact on Ghana's downstream petroleum sector. The development follows Star Oil's decision on Wednesday to suspend its own membership of COMAC. The company, which is the Chamber's largest financial contributor, says its calls for the scrapping of the price floor have been sidelined and misrepresented. In a statement, Star Oil warned that the negative public impression surrounding its position is hurting its business. Notably, the Chief Executive Officer of Star Oil also serves as a Vice Chairman of COMAC's board. Already, energy policy think tank, the Institute for Energy Security, that's the IES, has cautioned that the standoff could have wider implications for the downstream petroleum sector. Well, today, COMAC has been holding a crucial meeting to deliberate on the price floor policy and Star Oil's self-suspension. My colleague Papani is here, and Michael Ashali rather is here with me in the studio. So COMAC released a statement today. Give us the details.
Well, Pearl, essentially they have been responding to Star Oil's decision to suspend its membership from COMAC. It says that the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies acknowledges recent public statements regarding the self-suspension of the membership by one of our members. COMAC respects the right of its members to make independent decisions about their participation in the collective goal of the Chamber. That notwithstanding, COMAC remains strong, united, and unwavering in its commitment to representing the collective interests of its members, protecting consumers, and promoting sustainable growth and development. We value diverse perspectives, encourage open dialogue among members as we work together to achieve our shared goals. COMAC will continue to engage with the industry regulator and all stakeholders to address issues affecting the effective implementation of policies within the sector. We assure the public and our stakeholders that COMAC will consistently operate in line with its established principles and collective decisions, fostering a fair, inclusive, and transparent environment for all members. So that is the statement from COMAC, which does not mention Star Oil, but definitely acknowledges that there's a decision by one of its own self-suspension. Currently, as we know, that the CEO of Star Oil is also the vice chairman of the board of COMAC, and it remains to be seen how exactly this will impact on the industry. I understand that we'll be speaking to IES very shortly, and also to COMAC itself on what exactly this will mean for its association going forward, and how soon we expect Star Oil possibly to return to the association.
Michael Ashade, thank you so much for that statement, bringing us that statement from COMAC. Joining us via telephone right now is Gabriel Kumi. He's a board chairman of COMAC. I also have Derek Emmanuel Jache. He's a senior research and policy analyst at IES. Good evening and thank you for your time here on Newsnight, gentlemen. I'd like to start with you, Gabriel. First, your reaction to Star Oil's decision to suspend its membership on COMAC. Did that surprise you?
Thank you very much and good evening to your listeners. Of course, that came in as quite a surprising move. Like I indicated earlier, Star Oil is not an ordinary member of the chamber. Star Oil is the vice chair of our chamber. So naturally, if such a member resigns or suspends himself, you want to take steps to bring him back. You recall that in Star Oil's own letter, it did indicate that it respects the majority view. And the majority view of the chamber is that the floor price should be maintained, even though we respect the views espoused by Star Oil.
So help us understand, give us a bit of clarity what the floor price really is and why it exists at all.
The floor price is just the price at which no oil marketing company can sell below. And that was instituted about 2 years ago to protect the industry and to protect players. 2 years ago, we realized that there were a lot of products which were illegally coming into the system. And once those illegal products comes into the system, they evade taxes. If you take products like diesel and petrol, about 4 cedis of the price is made up of taxes. So once you have an illegal product coming into the system and that tax is evaded, what it means is that those who are engaged in that can price low, because if now the price of petrol, for instance, is around 10 cedis, and about 4 cedis of that is taxes. So if you have somebody who evades that taxes and come onto the market, he will be able to price the product and compete with those who are doing genuine business. So we had a conversation with the MPA. And in order to protect the industry players, we decided to come up with this price floor mechanism.
And we do know that COMAC has been holding crucial talks on the price floor. What did you settle on? Suspend or keep it?
We reaffirm our decision to maintain the price floor for the industry. Though we respect the decision, we respect the views espoused by Star Oil. But like I did indicate, the chamber exists to protect the interests of majority. Majority view at the end of the day carries the day. And like I indicated, Star Oil itself indicated that it has no problem with the chamber going ahead with the majority view. And the majority view of the chamber is that the price floor should be maintained. That is not to say that we don't respect the views expressed by Star Oil.
Mr. Jache, Gabriel, hold on for me. Let me bring in Mr. Jache at this point. You've heard Gabriel Kumi speak there. He said that they are against the scrapping of the price floor, and I want to get your reaction to that.
All right. Thanks for the opportunity. So, from the Institute for Energy Security standpoint, knowing the reasons advanced for the implementation of the price floor, we equally also accept that in its current form, the price floor must be maintained to protect the industry as well as guarantee the safety of petroleum products that are being consumed by the consumer.
How do you think this will protect the industry, as you've just mentioned?
All right. So basically, the reason why the price floor was implemented, we stated some of them too, because those who have been doing smuggling. One other thing is also to protect the emerging oil marketing companies, those who do not have the shoulder to be able to compete the big players, probably who are enjoying some competitive advantage because they have other things to be able to cut down costs. That is one thing. The other one is to guarantee the continuous supply of petroleum products across the country. So if some oil marketing companies are forced, or let me say could not compete, and so they are crowded out of the market, then it means that some segments of the country will not be able to have access to petroleum products. And who is going to serve them? And so there will be the need for people to now queue along places because they are in need for, or they are in search for petroleum products. In the long run, when there's that crowding out of these small and then emerging oil marketing companies, the big players will now be the one to decide the industry. Okay. And then consumers will be at the mercy of these particular big players. And so for the sustainability of the market, for the guarantee of continuous petroleum, quality petroleum products at affordable prices for consumer benefit, the price floor was implemented. And for the past 2 years, it has been able to serve that particular purpose. Unless maybe the circumstances have changed where there is a proper stakeholder engagement with industry experts, then we cannot come back to the round table and say like whether there is a need for this price floor to be abolished as it stands now, or maybe there is a need for us to review it. But as it stands right now, there is a need for the maintenance of this price floor. It must be maintained in its current standard.
But then the argument of Star Oil is that it can sell the fuel cheaper if the price floor is removed. Shouldn't that be good news for the consumer?
All right. And so that should be good news for the consumer, but you have to look at it from these 2 points. One, whether it is in good faith or it is in bad faith. We're talking about price floor. As it stands right now, Star Oil is not selling at that particular minimum price floor. You equally have other oil marketing companies that are selling closer to the price floor or even better, or let me say at a cheaper price as compared to Star Oil. And so if it is in the good interest of Star Oil to serve its consumers or its customer base, and then they want to advance the argument that if not for price floor, prices could have been further down, then probably you should have been selling at that minimum price floor. You are not currently selling at that minimum price floor. And so why do you not advance the argument that if not for the price floor, consumers would have been experiencing further reduction? The second part of it is that Star Oil is equally implementing discounts across board. And so they can give you that, okay, for this pricing window, our price is 10.35. But you see them selling at discounts around certain places at 9.97. If it is really for the reduction and for the benefit of the consumer, why don't you have a uniform price that is being discounted across the whole value chain or across board, across the whole country? But I have to be at its Legon and enjoy at 9.97 Ghana cedis. And then if I'm to move to a different location, I'm going to be buying it at 10.35. Why the discrimination? And so we want to find out that if it is based on credibility, then maintain a uniform price, sell at that minimum price floor so that Ghanaians can side with you that, okay, you are doing it in the best interest. The second part of it is that if not that today, Star Oil is the market leader, would they have been advancing the argument for the elimination of this particular price floor? Because 2 years ago, they were not the market leader.
Let me just come in here. So what do you think the wider implications will be for the petroleum downstream sector, especially after Star Oil says it has suspended its membership of COMAC?
Well, for Star Oil suspending its membership, it's just that the benefits that it used to derive or get from COMAC, they are not going to enjoy those benefits. Whether it comes to policy influence, when it comes to promotion or collaboration. They are not going to enjoy that. Secondly, Comac is also going to lose out on some of its subscriptions, but I know that they have bigger platforms to be able to generate revenue. But be as it may, one industry player like Star Oil against a huge number of other oil marketing companies, that is the Chamber, Comac controls about 140. And so Star Oil will not be able to have a bigger weight as compared to joining its mother body to be able to advance this particular agreement. It has rather weakened their voice, if they had joined the Comac or let me say the Chamber, they would have rather gotten a stronger voice.
So you're by this saying that there will be no implications for the petroleum downstream sector?
The regulator is to guarantee that anybody who is operating under the downstream complies with the rules and regulations. So the consumer is protected. If Star Oil wants to continue serving its membership, then there must be a need to be able to comply with the rules and regulations that have been set out by the regulator, that is the NPA.
Okay, Derek, thank you so much. Let me go to Gabriel. Gabriel, so how do you intend to bring Star Oil back to Comac?
Like I indicated earlier, Star is not an ordinary member. It's the vice chair of the chamber. It's played a leading role in establishing the chamber and bringing the chamber to where it is today. We had a meeting today. Already we have begun engagement with Star to explain clearly the chamber's position. And I'm very, very, very positive that at the end of the day, the Philip Chieku that I know will see reason in the argument that we are making and come back to the fold.
Gabriel Kumi, thank you so much. He's the board chairman of Comac. Earlier, you heard me speak to Derek Emmanuel Jache, and he's a senior research and policy analyst at IES. Let's bring you other stories. Now, it won't be the first time drivers, commuters and residents are complaining about the terrible Pokwase-Mayura road in the Gawas municipality of the Greater Accra region. Now they say their patience is running out and are calling on government to address their concerns. In our feature series, Roads of Peril, I visited the area and filed this report. With a shovel in his hand, Kortetete takes matters into his own hands, manually filling potholes along the Mayura stretch to make the road motorable for commuters. He works in front of the Plant Protection and Regulatory Services Directorate, an agency under the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, what the locals here call Agric.
4 years now. I'm doing it this way. Especially if you do way the rate fall like this, then everything is well. Everything is well. Yes, service more. So if you go from there, that place there is too much.
A few meters away, I meet Akwesi Ampedu, a taxi driver who sold his first car as scrap metal after using it on the road for only 2 years. Akwesi managed to raise extra funds to purchase a second car. And what is sad, he has no choice than to drive on the same bad road in order to make ends meet. Today, he has stopped at a vulcanizer after his tire suffered a puncture.
I have just had a puncture. From the main station to Edusa, the road is really bad. Our shock absorbers in ball joints don't last at all. The authorities say the assembly has fixed the road, but the reality on the ground is the opposite.
Due to the bad road, I get a problem of my shocks.
For Nana Yao at Bevel, every trip comes at a cost. The Okada rider says the damaged road not only makes an already risky job even more dangerous, but also drives up repair costs for his motorbike.
I'm from Volta region, but I've been here for almost 2 years that I've been using this road. But due to the bad road condition, it has been affecting my motorbike. So even you can imagine, this morning, my motorbike has spoiled. So we are begging the government to at least helping us to, construct the road.
Frustrated residents like Owusu Benjamin say they have reached a breaking point.
Looking at the nature of this road, I mean, at times I look at it when I'm coming to drive from Pokwasi to this road. I just like, am I in a casket or what? I use about 1 hour to reach my house, which is undesirable.
You had a resident in Mayura ending that report. Let's go on the phone lines and speak to the MC for Gawest, John Desmond Nye. Good evening. Thank you for your time here on Newsnight. You do admit that a number of roads in your municipality are in very poor condition, right?
Yes, and good evening.
What concrete steps are you taking as an assembly to address the poor road networks, particularly in the affected areas like Mayura?
Right. I think first and foremost, we would have to appreciate the status of our roads. So before we project ahead, it is a fact that the West Municipality, we are one of the remotest areas, especially communities are sparsely distributed. So to travel from one electoral area to another it's a bit difficult. We are seeing this on the fact that we have about 1,867 kilometer roads within the West Municipality. However, only 5% is up to standard or more travel. Having said that, we as an assembly, in collaboration with our member of parliament, Honorable Sedem opinion, we have tried to reshape the inner roads to make it more travel. With this, we are doing this to complement government's efforts to award these roads for a permanent blacktop or asphalt unit. As I'm speaking with you, I think let me take the case of Mayura. That road has been repackaged and has been awarded, and all things being equal, very soon we're going to see blacktop units.
Okay.
That of Patapo, it can also link Mayura as well. And I'm talking about from Pokwasi Police Station. You know, I need to also emphasize on this. Part of the Mayura Road falls within the North Municipality. That is from the Pokwasi Police Station to Afiama. It's under the North. But because the West, we are always prominent. And like we see us all the time, everybody assumes that we are in charge of the road. However, we are happy to say that from Pokwasi Police Station through Katapo to Ochikonso, works have just commenced by New Modern Ghana Limited to undertake the whole 9-kilometer stretch.
Okay. John Desmond Nina, he's the MC for Gawas. Thank you so much for your time here on Newsnight. It's time for business, and George Yafe is here.
Hi, Pearl. And coming up in business, President John Mahama announces plans to review use of Ghana's sovereign wealth fund outside the country. And Chamber of Oil Marketing Company acknowledges exit of Star Oil, but insists the association remains united in representing the collective views of members. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all your office essentials, Sinter's Tanks and Pepsodent, Herbal and Charcoal.
Welcome, contestants, to the final round. Winner takes all. For 1,000 points, all you have to do is give me the correct answer to the following riddle. I am one place, but with the right connection, I can be 1,000 other places. Some people call me magic. Some people call me a feeling. In me, you can be anything you want to be. I'm the most common and yet the rarest place in the whole world. What am I?
A church.
Oh, wrong. Contestant 3, what's your answer?
The answer is home.
Correct. Congratulations to our winner. Contestant 3.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
Hey, Ajua. Challenge these days, new level crowd. Where did you pass?
Me, pass somewhere. I just switched for a better life. I switched for comfort. Look, your salary deserves better.
Switch?
Yeah.
How do you mean?
I switched my salary account to Fidelity Bank.
Oh, okay.
And that's my jackpot. I get higher loan amounts with lower interest rates, as well as personalized financial support. They gave me a loan to expand my side hustle. And the terms are just flexible.
Wow.
Your salary deserves better.
Oh, my salary deserves better, Pa. You see the way you are smiling wide? Yes, I will switch and smile wider.
Your salary deserves better. Switch to Fidelity Bank today and enjoy lower interest rate, car and home loan, personalized financial support, and a smile that lasts. Switch and smile wider. Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
If I believe with us, Fidelity. If I know I lay your side, Fidelity.
Brushing gets more fun with your kids with the new Pepsodent Kids toothpaste. Give your smiles protection that lasts. Grab yours today from a store near you. This advert is FDA approved.
First Sky Group, a wholly owned Ghanaian company made up of First Sky Construction, First Sky Bitumen Processing, First Sky Commodities, Volta Serene Hotel, Western Serene Atlantic Hotel, Serene Insurance, First Sky Energies, and Federal Rural Bank warmly welcomes you to its 23rd Thanksgiving service on the theme Proclaiming the Mighty Deeds of the Lord, Psalm 71:15-16. The Thanksgiving service in two parts will be hosted by the founder and executive chairman, Mr. Eric Sadi Kotoche. The first part begins on Friday, January 23rd, 2026, and all night from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. at the Trinity Temple Assemblies of God Church, TTAG, Community 10, Tema. Ministering in word, Reverend Mark Sese, Assistant General Superintendent, Assemblies of God, Sierra Leone, Reverend Aaron Fant, Senior Pastor, Wind and Fire Sanctuary, Assemblies of God, Temale, Ghana, Reverend Sujit Alex, famed North Area Leader, Assemblies of God, UK. The second part continues on January 25th, 2026. There will be a Thanksgiving service at the main auditorium of the Accra International Conference Center. The time is 10 a.m. Guest speaker, Reverend Dominic Yo, Global Chairman, World Assemblies of God, and General Superintendent, Assemblies of God, Singapore. Chairman for the occasion, Apostle General Sam Kwanche Ankara, General Overseer, Royal House Chapel International. Special guest of honor, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana. Also in attendance will be His Eminence Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, General Overseer, Action Chapel International, Reverend Stephen Yemson Wingam, General Superintendent, Assemblies of God, Ghana, and the Vice Chairman, Africa Assemblies of God, Reverend Professor Paul Frimpong Mansong, Immediate Past General Superintendent, Assemblies of God, Ghana, Most Reverend Professor Johnson Kwapena Asamoah Jedu, the Presiding Bishop, the Methodist Church, Ghana, Reverend Steve Mensa, General Overseer, Charismatic Evangelistic Ministry, Most Reverend Dr. Paul Boafo, Past Presiding Bishop, Methodist Church, Ghana, Apostle Professor Kojo Opoku Onina, Past Chairman, Church of Pentecost, Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete, an international evangelist, Reverend Dr. Silvanus Amegashiti Elom, Group Corporate Chaplain, First Sky Group, and other senior clergy. Ministering in music will be Minister Kofi Owusu Prepra. For more details, please contact 020-854-3441 or 0248-940-021.
No matter where we are, Africa always calls us home. And here in Ghana, the call is clear: to power growth and create lasting impact. At Stanbic Corporate and Investment Banking, we are creating giants and connecting businesses. From financing bold energy projects to enabling cleaner, reliable power for industries, we are fueling Ghana's transformation. With our support, Gensa Energy is delivering sustainable energy that powers Gold Fields operations, helping them move closer to cleaner, greener mining. This is a story of how we bring businesses together, create jobs, empower communities, and invest in the next generation. Stanbic Bank, delivering sustainable growth, creating impact. To learn more, visit stanbicbank.com.gh.
Welcome back to Business on News Night. Now, President John Mahama has announced plans to review the country's sovereign wealth fund investment outside the country and how it can be used. The president announced this at the Accra Reset Program in Davos, Switzerland today.
We call upon AMFI to engage immediately with the sovereign wealth funds of the Accra Reset Political Zone to establish an investment vehicle with a bold ambition to repatriate at least 15% of Africa's sovereign wealth currently invested outside the continent and deploy it safely, productively, and transparently on the continent. I've directed my Chief of Staff to work closely with our Minister for Finance to align Ghana's sovereign assets with this sovereignty first logic. Ladies and gentlemen, we warmly welcome the Confederation of Indian Industries' commitment to support South-South policy exchanges under the Accra Reset, embodying a renewed Bandung spirit of our time. This includes a coordinated platform for India-Africa investments rooted in manufacturing technology and long-term value creation. I'm also pleased to announce a policy exchange with Indonesia on critical minerals processing, focusing on lithium, phosphates, and nickel, as well as policy exchanges with South Korea and Singapore on digital public infrastructure, including sovereign approaches to AI deployment.
And that is President John Mahama speaking at the Accra Reset Program in Davos, Switzerland today. The government has announced plans to roll out a national apprenticeship program. Now, the move is part of plans to deal with the unemployment situation in the country. Here is the Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofori.
It's just doing collar. We can train you to make a collar within a month. You start sewing, just joining and all of that. And so we hope that
industry that employs a lot of people. The beauty is the fact that you don't have to learn for 3 months, 5 months before you start work. It is that industry that trains you for 4 weeks and you already have a job. And so this is good because of the division of labor and specialization. If your work is just doing collar, we can train you to make a collar within a month. You start sewing, just joining and all of that. And so we hope that that industry will create a lot of jobs.
And that is the Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofori. Now, the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies has indicated that it remains united in representing the collective views of members and development of their industry. Now, this is coming after the Chamber formally acknowledged the exit of market leader Star Oil from the association. More in this report.
The Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies in the statement issued after an emergency board meeting today acknowledged the exit of Star Oil. However, this is how it was crafted, and I quote, "We acknowledge the recent public statement regarding the self-suspension of one of our members." The chamber went on to state that, notwithstanding this action, the association remains intact, but was quick to add that as an association, it values diverse perspectives and encourages open dialogue among members as they work together to achieve a shared goal. It also stated, as an association, it will continue to engage the industry regulator and all stakeholders to address issues affecting members, as well as the effective implementation of policies within the sector. The Chamber further assured the public it will consistently operate in line with established principles and collective decisions, fostering a fair and transparent environment for all.
In terms of That is a business text report. Now, Ghana has made some significant progress towards promoting sustainable finance and private sector-led green growth. Now, this was after the closure of the sustainable use of natural resources and the energy finance program. The initiative was implemented with support from the European Union and the agency Franchise Development, that is coordinator. Now, Ebenezer Ashie believes that the initiative have increased the capacity of participants and participating banks to support more green initiatives in the country.
In terms of green financing, the partner banks, their capacity have been built, and now they have the confidence to finance green investment currently in the country. In terms of we financing green building, that's what we are witnessing now. This is an energy efficiency building. I mean, these buildings have been ranked in terms of the edge software. We have been able to achieve more than a minimum of 20% in terms of energy savings. They also benefit in terms of water usage as well.
The initiative, spearheaded by the Energy Commission and supports Ghana's move towards green energy with the construction of some energy-efficient buildings in the country. Now, Nigerian-based automobile company Kojo Motor is offering added value to its customer with the launch of its new brand, that is Max Meyer paint. Now, the state-of-the-art paint offers some added initiatives to consumers. At the unveiling of the ceremony in Accra, Group Chief Executive of Kojo Ghana, Cosmos Mudika, explained how the latest edition will cater for specific needs of the market.
We are representing the biggest car paint manufacturer in the world here in Ghana, called PPG, with one of their brand called Max Meyer. So that's what we brought to offer the Ghanaian motorists, a product that will add value to you, where we paint your car here, bring it to the same standard like it's coming out of factory. We have what it requires, that you cannot actually be able to distinguish a car coming out of this iconic machine called spray boot.
And that is the Group Chief Executive of Kojo Ghana, Cosmos Mudika. And that's all for Business on Newsnight. But tonight on PM Express Business Edition, we're expanding the discussion on this whole Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies and also this whole price floor program, basically with the chairman of the association, that is Gabriel Kumi. Look at what happened in today's meeting going forward, what will be the action going forward. And also this program is live on all our social media platforms and live on Joy News at Ball at 9 p.m. tonight, as you look at the chamber and this whole program and what it means for the members going forward.
And also what it means for consumers as well.
Yes.
George, you have your thank you, and it's time for sports. Benaya Dafiamatbo is here. You have news on the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, and the president of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Richard Akukpavi, says his outfit will need not less than $300,000 to give Ghanaian athletes the best possible preparations for the 2026 Commonwealth Games, which is set to be staged in Glasgow, Scotland in August. Now, speaking to Joy Sports, he revealed that they will require strong financial backing to bring the best out of the athletes ahead of the tournament.
Just the training camp, or if I'm talking about full preparation for the Commonwealth Games specifically, I need not less than $300,000. If I get $300,000 today, I can prepare the athletes properly, well, for the Commonwealth Games. They'll have training camps, they'll have competition, and they'll have medical support and all that. Like some of them may have to do qualifiers, but in terms of, we are sure of about at least 30 of them.
I'm sure you factored the cost of the qualifiers into everything else when you were mentioning the figure.
When I mentioned the figure, the qualifiers were not part of the preparation, training camps, and support. But if you add the qualifiers, you're looking at about $500,000.
All right, so that's the president of the Ghana Olympic Committee there, and that's it for sports.
Benaya, thank you. Two other stories now. And Ghana's progress in reducing poverty is being reshaped, with the Ashanti and Northern regions now leading in multi-dimensional poverty cases, with over 1 million people in each struggling. This contrasts to the national trend, where nearly 1 million have escaped poverty. In the northeastern Savannah regions, for instance, more than half of all people in those regions are multi-dimensionally poor. My colleague Michael Ashali is in the studio with me with details of that report. Michael, what is the situation looking like in the Ashanti and Northern regions?
Well, we understand that the regional picture shows clear disparities. Ashanti and Northern regions recorded the highest number of multi-dimensionally poor persons in Q3 of 2025, with each exceeding 1 million people, largely due to population size and persistent deprivation pockets. In terms of poverty incidence, Northeast and Savannah regions remain the most affected, with more than half of their populations living in multi-dimensional poverty. By contrast, Greater Accra and Western regions continue to perform relatively better maintaining poverty rates below 20%.
Let's now look at the national picture. We are told about 1 million people have been lifted out of multidimensional poverty.
Well, yes, the latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service shows a sustained improvement in multidimensional poverty levels. The multidimensional poverty rate declined steadily from 24.9% in the fourth quarter of 2024 to 21.9% by the third quarter of 2025. In practical terms, this means the number of multidimensionally poor people fell from about 8.2 million to just over 7 million within that period. The Statistical Service puts the figure at 950,000 people exiting multidimensional poverty within the period. The trend confirms that overall living conditions have improved for a significant portion of the population, even though challenges remain.
And what really are the contributors to these multidimensional poverty figures we are seeing?
So what we know is that the multidimensional poverty in Ghana is driven mainly by 4 indicators: living conditions, health, education, and employment. Current data shows that poor living conditions remain the largest contributor across all regions, accounting for as much as 39.9% of deprivation in Western North. Health-related deprivation are the second biggest driver, with particularly high contributions in Ahafo at 47.2% and in the northern region at 44.9%. Employment also plays a significant role, especially in urban areas. In Greater Accra, for example, employment-related vulnerability contributes to about 34% to the multidimensional poverty, reflecting labor market insecurity despite relatively better access to services.
So the Northeast Regional Minister Ibrahim Tia says that concrete measures have been activated to tackle the worsening poverty situation with a strong focus on boosting household incomes and expanding access to social services. He says the strategy includes diversifying agricultural activities while intensifying efforts to enroll more residents onto the National Health Insurance Scheme. He spoke to my colleague Mamiesi Nyamiche Thompson on Joy News Desk.
Northeast Regional Coordinating Council, in collaboration with the Regional Directorate of Agric, is working, informing cooperatives to see how we can address this challenge. And one of the major policies that we have adopted in the region is the all-year farm. Last year, we experimented half an acre of tomato, and the production level was just between 1 to 60 days, 2 months, and then you start harvesting. And you can harvest for the next 1 month, making it the lifespan for 3 months. And half an acre, one farmer got about 30,000 Ghana cedis from it. So assuming you are producing up to an acre, that means you can get up to about 60,000 Ghana cedis just for 1 acre. And they can produce more than 5-6 acres each. So you can imagine the income level. That is just one. When we come to watermelon production, now price level. There's no watermelon system. And when you produce 1 acre of watermelon or 2 acres of watermelon, you can harvest and sell up to the close of about 100,000 Ghana cedis. Last year, we experimented half an acre of tomato. And when you produce 1 acre of watermelon or 2 acres of watermelon, you can harvest and sell up to the close of about 100,000 Ghana cedis. So this is a game changer. Then let's come to the onion production, which we are looking at and we are embarking on. When you farm onion 1 acre, you can also produce up to about 40 acres of onion. And you can look at the average price of onion. And then when you look at that and multiply it, you can see what you will generate within 1 acre, which is easy to handle.
So we also spoke to some residents in Accra about the Ghana Statistical Services report.
Increase or decrease, I still manage to eat 3 times daily. That is morning, afternoon, evening. So I can't really tell, but I'm sure that with it decreasing, people will be able to eat 3 times daily. And sometimes eating 3 times daily isn't about poverty. It's about the individual himself or herself.
Oh, really? It's true. Because me, for instance, I just take only 2 times a day. That's morning and evening. So I think the data is somehow correct. Yeah.
But let's look at the people like us who travel to workplaces and other stuff. They haven't reduced transportation. salary has not been increased. So we literally spend the same amount of money we were spending last year, and even somehow even much more than what we were spending. So if you say poverty has come down, maybe to other people, but for working class, I don't think there has been much decrease. I don't see any change, and actually I've been spending more now.
And you hear the voices of some residents in Accra, and that's how we end Newsnight. My name is Ofori. Thank you for your time.